Meditation can help. It helps me with small suffering, like being in traffic or being impatient with something, to big suffering, going through a disaster, going through a divorce. And it can help anyone. So I've written these small meditations to help you in a way that in the way that they help me. They're easy, they're simple, they'll help you calm your mind. Give Me a Break is just a collection of small meditations. I first became interested in all things Tibetan, and in meditation in particular, when I was a teenager, but this interest was stronger when my mother and I went to Tibet in 1986. I planned a trip to Dharamsala, India, where the Dalai Lama lives. When I first got to Dharamsala, I had no idea what I was doing, whom to see, and I had been given the name of a family in Dharamsala, and I knocked on their door. And I didn't know what to expect. They didn't know I was coming. And I met this family, and we became friends over tea, and they invited me to share a room in their house. And suddenly, I was learning a great deal about Tibetan life and culture. And I spent several months that trip living in Dharamsala and meeting Tibetan Buddhist monks. And I was fortunate enough to be able to arrange an audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And before I did that, I decided that I wanted to write a children's book about him. And my first interview with him lasted about, I don't know, maybe 2 hours or so, and I was able to ask him questions about his life. And during that interview, we talked a great deal about children and about teaching children how to meditate, and he gave me what he thought would be a good technique to teach children to meditate. And I decided that that was also a technique that he must use, or perhaps Tibetan monks use, to teach adults to meditate. So I looked for a way to adapt that technique that he gave me, that he mentioned in our interview, and adapt that for anyone. And then I adapted other techniques that I learned from Tibetan Buddhist monks for this book, Give Me a Break.